Reneza, Sekuza, Skyza, chiefs, hereditary chiefs, matriarchs, youth, elders, most importantly, youth. Just want to first of all find my notes. Just first of all, acknowledge the territory, the Coast Salish people, the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh, and say, Masi, Sino to see you. You helped us on our journey, and acknowledge the territory and how important that is. My name is Terry Gigi. I'm from Tackle Nation. I am the regional chief for the British Columbia Assembly of First Nations. We're known as vice chiefs to the national chief. I recently been acclaimed this past couple of months, serving my third term as regional chief. There's two things there. First of all, nobody has ever been acclaimed. Second of all, there's been no regional chief that has served 3 terms. Oh yeah, and the other, I guess, record I broke or what have you is when I first ran. It was the only election where there was a tie, and we had to go between the 2 candidates, and we had to go to a second ballot, and I was successful, and now I'm here. And like Jennifer, I guess I have a few more years in me to continue this journey. I guess, you know, just thinking about that as running for chief, it was never in my plan. I went to university, I went to school, got educated because, you know, this is what you do. This is what you do I really think at least in my case, to appease my parents, but also wanted to help my nation in terms of forestry. So I became a forester. I got a degree in forestry, became an RPF. But then during all those discussions, much like perhaps you have had with the government, was frustration. Was, you know, in those tables of negotiations with industry and with government was not only frustration, but the feeling of injustice. And I think that's why many of you are here with Our Children Our Way, a second annual conference, was to seek justice for our children. Probably our most precious resource, if you will, our most precious in our communities is our children. And realizing that we've just come out of this very difficult situation that was the residential school system, and realizing that we're coming into another system that was very genocidal in nature, in the taking of our children in the foster care system, putting them at risk. And many of you, that's why you're here. Many of our leaders fought for it. And that's really what this whole ceremony is now for, is to honor those many years ago that went to, on our behalf, went to seek justice for our children and our children who were in care on reserve, to seek some semblance of justice, but more importantly, to make change for the future, to make changes to policy, to make changes so our children are no longer at risk. So with that, I just want to acknowledge also too that, you know, during this journey in terms of the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal and the Child Caring Family Society, as well as the organization that I represent, the Assembly of First Nations, in 2016 went to court. And, you know, as a result of that, those many years prior to that, in 2016, the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal validated what we all knew to be true, that Canada was discriminating against First Nations children and families. The tribunal ordered Canada to fully and completely end that discrimination that we've all experienced. Since then, the tribunal has issued more than 20 additional orders to force Canada toward substantive equality for our First Nations children. This is a significant victory, which we would have never achieved without the tireless work of many people. Today, we are honoring some of those individuals who have driven the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal process forward. So, first of all, I want to acknowledge Sarah Clark, David Taylor, and Anne Levesque, who are not here and perhaps are joining virtually. We'll honor them virtually. Sarah, David, and Anne are the exceptional lawyers who, for nearly 2 decades, have dedicated their brilliance and their time to the CHRT process. They have sacrificed time with their families and reached deep into their training, knowledge, skills, and creativity to navigate the many legal technicalities and roadblocks that have stood in the way of justice and meaningful equality for First Nations children and families. And they have done much of that work pro bono. So acknowledgements. In our way, it's important to witness in our potlatch system, in our systems of governance. It's important to witness what we do here, especially in terms of blanketing. The next person that we want to honor and recognize, and she is no introduction. Cindy Blackstock. Cindy, recognized her this month as a child rights hero. She was selected by millions of children around the world as the recipient of the World's Children's Prize. The children have spoken. Yes. Cindy is a hero. The hero goes back decades. In the 1990s, she was hosting raffles with IS Amendment to raise funds to meet children's basic needs. From the front lines of that work, Cindy saw the larger picture and understood that there were thousands of children across Canada whose needs were going unmet. And she couldn't sell raffle tickets for all of them. She saw that Canada was shirking on its fiduciary responsibility for these children, and she set out to fix that. She started by doing the research and working with other researchers to demonstrate and document the discrimination in funding for First Nations children and family services. When government did not respond to clear and compelling evidence that children were suffering as a result of a discriminatory funding approach, she took them to court. She wrote the human rights complaint herself and has been and still remains a constant and driving force behind the process. And because she is Cindy Blackstock and a true child rights hero, she has kept children at the center at every stage of the process. Cindy, please come up.